this, and you can submit it. I will not deduct any point. If you want to do that, do it by tomorrow or by Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow is the Wednesday. So you can do it by tomorrow night, and I will not, I will reverse the penalty or whatever if you want to update your work. So here, requirement and use case analysis. So this is system development life cycle. Now we are going to learn data flow diagram today. Describe the process used to create data flow diagram and create data. So this is what we are going to learn today. And since I think some of you already know what is data flow diagram, creating data flow diagram. So this is outline of the day. So why data flow is used? Because this is a process model, a formal way of representing how a business process operates. And that also illustrates activity that are performed and how data moves between them. So logical process model describes process without suggesting how they are conducted. And there are two things, logical process and physical process. Models include process implementation information. So logical and physical, very important. Data flow diagram, a popular technique for creating a process model. So process model can be logical and physical. Now you look into this example, data flow diagram of here you can see how it is looking. So let's see, here you can start with non-chemical applicator, and you can start seeing from here to chemical needed, chemical approved, then it goes from here to there. Think about the e-commerce business, like you place the order on Amazon.com, how you get all the accurate information, everything, how data flows from the moment you click the order, or the moment you select the item to buy, how it goes. Think about such a complex data flow or complex process, that how data flows from the point of selecting the item. This is very simple. So from here, non-chemical to coming, now this has been divided into, so this is the overall, we are not going into that, just look into the one by one. There are data flow diagram, elements, DFD elements. Number one is process. And any activity or function performed for a specific business reason, it can be manual or it can be computerized. Includes the following. You can see this picture right here. A number, which is right on the top, a name, verb phrase, or prepare, pick up material. It also description, at least one output data flow, and at least one input data flow. So you can see this is one input, which you can see arrow going inside, and these bottom you can see these are the output. So this is process, very simple. It starts with what are the characteristics, a number, name, description, one input and one output. Okay. Data store, where data is going to be a collection of data that is stored in some way. And this is represented in this way. Includes a number. Here you can see a name, description, one or more inputs data flow, one or more output data flow. So means you can simply understand data store is the place where data is coming from multiple inputs, and it is going to be retrieved from for multiple purpose. Like you are the one, for example, students, your registration data can be accessed by different, different, entities. Like your data is here, your data is stored, that is stored from multiple, ways, and that is, a student database. So for example, input is like, whenever you are logging or you are putting the information, academic department is putting the, your performance, or for example, professors are inputting the data of your grades. So that is going, your financial information is also, and the report and output, many people are accessing your, for example, your advisor, they are looking, for example, your registration department, they can also look. So store, it can have multiple input, multiple output. The external entity, so please distinguish in these symbols. This is the one, this is the second, this is, look into this. External entity can be a person, can be an organization, or can be a system that is external to the system, has interaction with the system, and that interacts with the system. That includes the following: a name, here you can see the name, description, one or more inputs, and one or more output. So you please distinguish these three, symbol that we use. Now, I think I did the recording. Just a minute. Yeah. Uh, deficit, depositing business processes with DFD. Business processes are too complex to show in a one single DFD. So for example, if I am talking about e-commerce transaction that you do for buying any product or services, it is very, very complex because multiple entities are into, the moment look into that, Amazon, you put your credit card, debit card, it has, your bank, your, authorization, your credit card company authorization, or if you are using PayPal, then PayPal is another entity which is involved. You put the PayPal information, PayPal goes to, your bank, bank to Visa, to Visa to bank. So, and then it is supplier, supplier is again sending to UPS, FedEx, delivering to you, getting your signature. Means think about how complicated, is the process. So it is very difficult to show in one DFD. A deliberate hierarchy is created with multiple levels of DFDs. Therefore, there are multiple levels of DFD created. To build the hierarchy, a decomposition technique is used. There is a child DFDs, so a portion of the parent DFDs is in greater detail. So look into that. So context diagram, first thing first, you make a context diagram. For example, entity A, that is interacting with the sample information system, then entity B, entity C. For example, this canvas is here. For example, sample information system is right, our course system, you can say, or our course module where, we are interacting. Entity A, you are, 10 students or 14 students, and how this is happening. So this is, context diagram. I'm the one who is looking back and forth, I'm getting the information, I'm putting the information. Similarly, you are getting the information, you are putting the information, and this is happening. And, so this is a very simple top level DFD in a process model. So this is context, top level DFD in a process model. This you can see. This shows the context in which the business process fits. It shows the overall business process as just one process. And this is called process zero. So here this, you can see this is a one process and this is called zero. And that shows all external entities that receives information from or contribute information to the system. So basically it shows all external entities, and here we don't see any data storage or data store. So this is called zero, process zero. Now let's go further so this is zero process. Now it has been decomposed or into zero level DFD. So the same thing you can see, this is called zero level DFD, data flow diagram. Entity A. So for example, this is giving input, this is taking in, this is taking output. B means you can see B arrow is going here, and it is. Now look into the sample information system has been decomposed here. Entity B and entity C can be seen here. So basically this entity A, B, C, for these three, there are three processes. Process double A, processes double B, processes double C. So processes double B, entity C. So look into this. This has been divided into, simple information system has been divided into three processes and has two data store. D1 and D2, these are the two data stores. So how it is going? Entity 1 is interacting with and giving the input to process A. Process A is giving the interaction to process B, also storing the data in D1. This is again going from 2 to 3. So here 1, 2, 3. D1, D2, and how this is interacting. This is called, if you context diagram can be decomposed into zero level DFD, that is zero level. Now here you can see zero has been given in into three processes, two data storage. Shows all the major processes that comprise the overall system, the internal components of process zero. Shows how the major processes are interrelated by data flow. Shows external entities and major processes with which they interact, and store data via the data stores. So you can clearly understand these three major processes, they are interrelated, and by data flows, by arrows. So the external entity and major processes and data stores are also added in this zero level. Now look into this is further decomposed. So from here zero level, you can see one process number 1 has been further decomposed into 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 and data store. So here we have zero level. This is level 1 means, so level 1 diagram. This is DFD level 1 diagram because one process has been, and this is process 3 level 1 diagram and process 2 level 1 diagram. So this has been further decomposed zero level into 1 level. Level 1 diagram, create 1 level DFD for every major process on the level 0 DFD. Shows the internal processes, means within a process there are sub processes that comprise a single process on level 0 DFD. For example, entering a grade. There are many things under entering the grade, how instructor does it. And for example, how you submit the assignment, there are 20 assignment, there are 10 assignment, different things, a different way, grading and other things. So basically, there are different processes. Even, I calculate the grade, then it is entered in EagleNet, and so internal processes that comprise a single process on level 01 DFD shows how information moves and from each these processes. the child process wholly and completely mask up to the parent process. So these are the child processes, and so 1.1, 1, 2, they all represent. And after this level 2 diagram, all processes that comprise a single process on level 1 DFD. So, and shows how information moves to and fro from each of these processes. Level 2 DFD may not be needed for all level 1 processes. And numbering each processes help the user understand where the process fits into overall system. So, and is there a level 3 diagram? So, basically, after level 2, we don't have level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because our problem is solved. Mostly problem is solved from 0 level to 1 level. And if needed, go for level 2. So level 2 may not be needed for all level 1 processes. How? And so level 2, you can further ensure that information presented on one level of DFD is accurately represented in next level of DFD. So basically, for example, 0 level is properly represented here. And data flows, one parent DFD are carried down to child DFDs. So, this, for example, this one is there. These are the 3 child and new data flows. Description of processes, process description. You can text-based process description provide more information about process than DFD alone. And case tools enable easy creation of description, and if the logic underlying the process is quite complex, more detail may be needed in the form of structured English, decision tree, and decision tables. So look into this. Process description, for example, this is, second process, DFD level 1. So 2.2, 2.1, 2. These are, for example, 2.3. This is the description here. Process 2.3 clearly written description. This is description of the level 1 process. Level is this 3. So you can see, process description is clearly written here. And it clearly gives, from where you getting the data, what you are computing the result to, send result to process 2.4. So this is, process description is clearly here. We have a lot of tools to do, DFDs. I'm just going to show you some. DFD making tools. Free DFD data flow diagram tool. You can find, so for example, make DFD free. I mean, this is basic. Continue with free. I mean, you have to log in. I have a book that I can give you some. So many websites, many things are there. Just a minute. I'm going to give you the correct website. 1 minute. That is, you did 371. How many of you have done 371? And there I explained, or Dwanning has explained to you, which is called, I just forget the name of the website. Remembering too much is not, just a minute. ERD plus, I think. ERD plus, something like this. So this gives you entity relationship diagram, and DFD you can free data flow diagram. There are a lot of freewares are there. Uh, use template. Again, you have to do. So basically you will find a lot of, template and to do that. So basically up to 2 level is there, I think further. So we have, so you will find, lot of online tools, a lot of online website template where you can develop these DFDs. So steps in how do we start with? First, we start with context diagram. So this is a context diagram. Similarly, you have to make for our assignment context diagram. Then you have to build the context diagram, for example, zero, process or this process, how many processes are there in order to do this. So zero, all major processes encompassed by system. How many subsystem are there inside? Use case, major event in handle in one process. So basically, this has been further decomposed into 3 process, 1, 2, 3. Then steps in building DFD. Create 0 level DFD. Fragmented for each use cases. So, this is the thing. First, you decompose the processes. Now you start create 0 level DFD fragment for each use case. Take one use case, for example, in previous previous week, you made 3, or some of you made 2 cases, use cases. 3, make it for 3, how the process works. Each process is level 0 DFD correspond to use case. Each level 0 DFD fragmented in mini diagrams showing the process and external entities and data stored within. So for example, a store manager, or, or video rental, you can have for one use case this, for second use case this, and third use case. How the data is coming and how the entities are interacting, which is important. So steps in building. So this is the third steps. Organize DFD fragmented into 0 level diagram. So entity A. So basically you can see these loops. This is, 0 level. This is the 1 loop. This is 2 loop. This is 3 loops. So basically 3 DFDs are, from level 0 diagram. This for each use case, I just use, this is, you can see this is the 1. This is the 2. This is based on 3 use cases. Clear. Now going further, decompose each level 0 DFD process into level 1 DFD. So for example, process 1 is further, gone into this 1.1, 1.2, 1.34, whatever. So then further do it. If needed, decompose level 1 process into level. So if there's, further, for example, 1.1.2, sorry, 1.1.1 or 1.1.2 or 1.1.3, if there are needed, basically, one level is sufficient as of now, but in real there are certainly under sub processes, there are under, sub processes. So further you can do it. If needed, decompose each level 1 process into level 2 DFD. Normally, not needed. Validate DFD with user to ensure completeness and correctness. So DFD often flow directly from use cases. So basically use case is very important and it comes, directly from there. Each use case become a level 0 DFD process. So, each use case becomes 0 DFD. Data flow in the context diagram becomes some of those in the level 0 DFDs plus some internal ones. So, this is, therefore, you just again think about, the last week assignment. If you made mistake, do it and think about, from DFD point of view also when you are making the use cases. Um, so 0 level FD plus some internal ones. Each group of steps in the use case become a level 1 DFD. So each group of steps, so means there are group of steps in in use case that becomes a 1 level DFD. So whatever steps are there in use cases, they become data flow in the level 0 DFD becomes some of those in the level 1 DFD plus some internal ones. Inputs and output in the use case become data flow in the level 1 DFD. So this is basically, it is looking, these diagrams are looking simple, but you have to think where you have, if you have clear understanding of the concept, if you have clear understanding of the system, you can do it very quickly. And otherwise, if you miss it, other things are going to build on the top of these things. So you need to put little effort in order to grasp it properly. The error that may be there, syntax error, semantics error, uh, violation of drawing rules, every data flow must connect to a process. Means whatever data is flowing, that has to be connected with the process. Every process must have at least one inflow and one outflow. So this normally people, forget to connect. Walk through diagrams with user. Verify the input source are logically sufficient to produce the output. Check for consistency level of decomposition. Check for consistency, a consistent use of terminology. So this is very important. You have to check with user whether, this is perfectly all right. So tune source system context diagram. This is context diagram. Customer is here. Look into the how many inputs are there. Customer search request is here. Then selection is here, like you do in any website. Customer information is gone here. Payment information is, inserted here. Tune source digital music download system. Once you search, select, um, select customer information, you put your address and your delivery address, credit card, and then you put the payment information. This is, then you can download the tune. So look into, then download the tune and you can get the email promotion from this. Every day you get. Now look into the backside. At the backside, you can see this payment go, the moment you pay this money, it goes to clearing house, means your Visa, MasterCard. And once the payment authorization is done, then only you will be able to download. Because you can see this on the front side, download, but it has back checkup payment authorization from clearing house, then only you can download. Now it also goes to sales patterns. Marketing managers can look into that and they can promote decisions. So this looks a simple context diagram. Now you are going to decompose this tune source. So how many, how many things are there? Creating fragmented. So customer search and browse tunes first. So this process has been divided into three processes: search and browse tunes, purchase tunes, and promote tunes. Now here you can see, search request, matching tunes, tune samples. What you do, you put input as a request of the desired thing. What you get from the system: matching tunes, tune samples. Then what you can do, you can select the one. Now this is a front customer interacting with this. Now how it goes back. Sorry, excuse me. Now look into this. What other inputs? New favorite, new interest, and what you get here: customer favorites here. you know Customer favorite, these are the four databases or data stores are there. One is available tunes, customer interest, customer favorite, and target promotions. So these are the, you know in search and browser, this process gives the customer favorites here, enter the customer favorite and new interest here. But what it gives? Web promotions and requested tunes. Now this goes to tune to buy by shopping cart. So this is another data store, which is shopping cart. Now look into the customer here, purchase tunes, customer account information, customer information, payment information. These three things they enter here. What they get? What customer get? Tune download. Shopping cart is here. For example, this tune to buy. This is, data store or data store, shopping cart, and this goes here. Now look into the backside. Three data store, available tunes, customer, and sales, and payment clearing house. These are the, and the payment clearing house is external, another entity. Customer is one entity, payment clearing houses, and then third is promote tunes, marketing managers and customers, and there are four data stores. So this one process has been decomposed into three. So here you can see, then D1 is available tunes, and these available tunes, they are common. So shopping cart and shopping cart, they are linked. So how one process is connecting with another process? You can see these are the, so this is creating zero level DFD. Now look into the customer search and browse tunes, purchase tunes, means that has been decomposed. And how? So look into that way. Available tunes, this data store is with this process one, and this is also shopping cart is also with one, with also. So this is connecting these three pieces. Now look into this part, promotion tunes, and this sales is here, and I think sales is also there. So this sales and this promote tunes is also going here through this. And what else? So how these three pieces put together can help and connect. So this customer and customer is here, customer is here, customer is here. So creating level 1 DFD here, you can search and browse tunes. Look into this. So this is, for level 1, how level 1 can be divided into. load website, process search request, process tune selection. So further this 0 level has been divided into 3 pieces, 3 levels, 3 processes. And how? So basically, it is all, it cannot be learned until we understand the system. The simple description is there, but until unless we don't understand each and every single and minor micro nano activity under that, we can't develop the system. Therefore, so look into this again. So creating one level DFD, and this you can see for purchase tunes. For purchase tunes, how many are there? Create customer account, retrieve customer account, payment process, confirm purchase. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 processes are there under purchase tunes. So these sub processes are there, and these are the payment clearing house is external entity, customer is there. 1, 2 date shopping cart, customer, available tunes and sales. These are the 4 data stores. So for level 3, for third process, level 1 diagram, under 3 promote tunes, these are the 3 sub processes. Market agency and customer, these are the 2 entities external. And 1, 2, 3, 4, customer interest, sales, target, promotion, customer, these are the data stores. So, and now, so quality of DFD, these are the easy tips. So every process has a unique name, that is an action oriented verb phrase, a number and description. Every process has at least one input, one output. Input output flow. Output data flow usually have different names than input data flows, because the process change the input into different output by processing in some way. There are between 3 and 7 process per DFD. So there can be 3 to 7 process per data flow diagram. And so keep it in mind, 3 to 7. Every data flow has a unique name, that is a noun and a description. Every data flow connects to at least one process. Data flows only in one direction, no two, headed arrows. Means arrow has always, means if you are doing, means you are doing this, or you are doing only one direction. It should not be that you can do like this. So every data flows connect to at least data flows only in one direction, no two headed arrows. A minimum number of data flow lines cross. Every data store has unique name, that is noun and a description. Every data store has at least one input data flow, which means add new data or changing the data into data store, and some page of process model, some page on the process model. Every data has at least one output data flow, which means to read data from data store or some page of the process model. So, data store is also having one input to add, modify, delete, insert data, one output to read, understand, get report. So this is external entities has unique name, that is noun and description. External entity has at least one input and or output data flow. Context diagram, every set of DFD must have one context diagram. So, so this is process, data flow, data store, and external entity. These are the 4 important elements of any DFD. Now, across DFDs, context diagram is very first point to start with. One context diagram. Okay. Viewpoint, there is a consistent viewpoint for entire set of DFDs. Decomposition, every process in wholly or completely described by the process or on its children DFDs. Every data flow, data store, external entity on high level DFD is shown. You can see that. Semantics, user validation is very important. Role process is very. Examine lowest level DFD first. Examine names carefully about that for consistent terminology and decomposition. So 4 and 4 items in DFDs, and then these are the some points to remember when you are making the DFDs. And where we are. So this is the assignment. Draw a level 0 DFD for the video store system in exercise F chapter, that you have developed. I mean, last week, the assignment is, I just, at the beginning of the class, I showed you. So based on those 3 use cases, you are going to make 0 DFD for video store. I'm not asking you to go for, uh, 1 level or 2 level, just up to 0 level. Often flow directly from use cases. Name of use case become major process on. Steps in use case become process for level 1. So just, this I'm not asking, I'm just, leaving this part for, next time. So this is, don't consider this as of now mini case 2, because it is asking, create 0 DFD, create 1 DFD. So if you look into this, just do the first 0 level. Okay. Now we come to the, case. This is a mini case. And this has the develop use case. So for this mini case, what you are going to do is starting with use case. Then you are going to do context diagram. Then you are going to do DFD, 0 level DFD and 1 level DFD. So for this case, for previous week assignment, you are going to add only 0 level. For this case, you are going up to 1 level DFD. So this is your assignment of this week. And now, please let me know if you have any question. Any question you can ask. I'm not able to hear anything if you are saying.
No, I have no questions.
Okay, so if this is clear to everyone, what I'm expecting this week, you are going to make only 0 level DFD of previous case. And will you be uploading assignment 4 correction slides? Eduardo, I don't get, your point.
I think he wants to know if the slides you showed at the beginning of class about the last assignment, if you're going to upload that
Okay,
section of the PowerPoint.
that is solution. So I just showed you, this is a solution. You have to think, if I upload that, then there is no point. You just need to think, I can show you again, but so there are 3 cases. So you just make, I'm not, penalizing, just, because it will help you to critically think and critically understand the system. So basically, it is like an exercise. Don't worry about, anything. I gave you the hint, so you have another chance. I will explain next time again. Don't worry. Any other question? If you have, let me know. And, up to chapter number 5, which means DFD, we have in exam. So if you have any question, you can approach me and you will get reply instantly from me. Okay. So,
I did have a question. I understand this, but it was about the past assignments.
okay, week number 4. Okay, go ahead, ask the question.
Oh no, it was for week 2.
Oh, week 2, which I want, I'm, because there is a problem. Okay, I can show you. Week 2 is the problem is that, I think I gave the feedback, or I think, there is the calculation instead of 112 or something, what you have done, the calculation is not correct. So therefore, I have not graded your assignment. I don't want to give you 0. I want.
Right.
So, I'm going to give you another assignment as a makeup of that assignment, another case as a makeup of that assignment, so that you can learn the calculation, and once you learn, you will get the grade. Okay.
Okay, so everything was fine, just the calculations were just wrong, correct?
I mean, there was only calculation, basically understanding and calculation. So basically you did not put, not only you, 4-5 students did not put correct, correct numbers, correct things. So basically if you do one thing, your question answer is 95, I think something, and the true answer is 112 and 134 point something. I don't remember exact number, to be honest. So this is the case, because I don't know how you have done, what calculation you used, what, because I clearly explained during lecture, this is going to be used. So I'm going to create another example, another situation, and I'm going to share to rest of the students to work on.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Thank you. Good night. See you next Tuesday. And in between, if you have issue, please let me know.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Will
bye.
do. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye. Good night.